Hey, welcome back to Movie Snippets on Kaburlu with Rajiv. Today we'll talk about the movie Bad Girl, which is a Tamil language movie which was directed by Varsha Bharat, starring Anjali Sivaraman, Shanti, Priya, and other cast members. I think honestly it felt like something that was very real and something we don't get to see often in Indian cinema because it's very bold, it is very fresh, and it gives you the feeling that this is something that I haven't seen before. And mostly this is like a coming of age story told from a woman's perspective. It's not loud or it is not shouting for attention, but it is made pretty much like a normal story that anybody would be interested to watch. And it feels very real. It reminded me of films that we often see in the West, like Lady Bird or Frances A, or The Worst Person in the World, like where the perspective of woman is shown, what a woman goes through during her teens, or how they see things around them, how they experience life, which you normally see in men-centric films. But this is made from the perspective of a woman by a woman, and I think it really does show on the screen whatever is being depicted on the screen. This movie is not like you're not waiting to watch a plot unfold or something like that. You're just living or watching somebody's life through your eyes as if you are in the middle of it. So I think in that way the movie does a commendable job of keeping you engaged for pretty much the whole time. Another big advantage this movie does have is that it does feel like the character of Ramya is somebody you know. It's like a typical middle class Tamil girl in her school, and it's about how she deals with her feelings, her thoughts, her crushes in school, friendships, family pressure, society, how she deals with relationships, her friends in college, and her exes and things like that. And I think it goes from one thing to the other and things like that. I think like we might have seen many movies like this, like for example Premam in Malayalam or Na Autograph, Sweet Memories in Telugu. These are pretty much stories that are on the same scale of this, but this feels fresh because it started and it goes through the life of what a girl or a woman goes through during that formative years of a life of a person. What I really liked about the movie is that it talks about how the prejudices are shown or are there in our society and how it impacts women, whether it be school going girls or college going girls or women in work spaces. It doesn't shout about these things, nor it does blame or excuse anyone of doing the mistakes, but it just shows that it is the way life is here and it's just the way people are growing up, or it's just the way the society is. And it's something we've seen all around us, be it to our sisters, our mothers, or our friends. And in that way I think there are so many things that we let go of or we brush them aside, saying that this is not how it should be, or this shouldn't be done by women, or women shouldn't be like this. It also shows how the patriarchy or the biases towards women is passed down from the older generations to the younger ones, like from the grandmother to the mother and from the mother to the daughter, things like that. And the character of the grandmother is something like that, like when she stops talking to one of her cousins because she married somebody else that she doesn't approve of, and pretty much like how she deals with the character of Ramya getting her period, and she terms it as you're being impure, don't go into the kitchen or things like that. So these are the things that might have happened in the common household, but we never talk about, or we never emphasize on these things not being normal. Anjali Shivraman as Ramya is fantastic, and her chemistry with her mother character played by Shanti Priya, I think it's wonderful. Both of them have done phenomenal jobs in terms of being as expressive when needed and being restrained. And I think the character of Shanti Priya has done a great job. Like she's a typical mother with like high standards for herself, and she's a working woman who has to take care of the family and the daughter and also the other family members while doing an exceptional job at school as a teacher. She also has to take care of a teenage teenage child who's also going through a lot of stuff on her own. So yeah, in the way the mother-daughter relationship is shown, and how the daughter always resents what the mother is trying to say, and eventually in the end when she tries to understand what her mother is trying to do, she gets to know that, oh no, this is something that I've always overlooked. And there's one good dialogue by a friend of Ramya, who says that we've been saying I love you to so many random guys on text and on or when we are in relationships, but we find it very difficult to say I love you to our moms. And I think after that scene, when Ramya goes to her mother and tries to say that to her mother, I think you can see the awkwardness in the whole character energy there at that time. So basically they are constantly fighting or miscommunicating, but you can still see that there is love underneath, and both are trying to do what they feel is best for themselves. And I think in that way the characters are very well written. So their dynamic is basically the background of the film, and how Ramya deals with all the stuff in her life, and how she comes back to her mother, who has always been enabling her to do whatever she wants in life. And maybe she tries to stop her at some times, but again, you can guess that this is how typical parents are in that world, and it's common to be like that. And I watched in an interview that the director Varsha didn't want the scene of the mother and daughter trying to make it work among themselves in the end, because she felt that it was not necessary. But whereas the producer of the film, Vetrimaran, insisted on having that scene, because he wanted that kind of a closure for both the characters, saying that we respect each other, or we have that love for each other, kind of a thing. And I think that moment really worked for me as well, somehow. And probably that might be the same for many people who might have watched. And kudos to the team for sticking on to that. The school portions were really great. Like, they brought on the nostalgia kind of thing about how the schools are, how the kids are in during the school times. Like, it's like a pre-internet era where you go to school, come back, you go on to, like, you switch on the TV or get onto the internet, back when Orkut, like Messenger app, or the SS Music, or for us in Andhra, I think it's Gemini Music and things like that. So these are the things, like the Nokia phones or the SMS kind of thing. Like, the film captures it with a fresh and a whole honest way. Overall, Bad Girl is a very simple movie about a girl who's trying to do things in life, and it felt like it just shows what every woman goes through. And it's not like it's crying for attention. It's just that we haven't seen something like this before. And I think with this coming out now, I'm sure many female directors or writers can come up and provide more nuances on how a life of a woman is there in India, and how they go through so many things. And probably it should encourage many people to come up with better stories and more engaging, and something that could be inspiring for many other women out in the world. It doesn't lecture about anything. It doesn't question the society or anything. It just shows the things the way they are. And yeah, you will definitely enjoy it if you are someone who enjoys coming of age kind of movies, where you see the character going through stuff, trying to unlearn the friends characters who are very essential in her becoming better in her life, and how she tries to heal herself and things like that. So there are so many moments in the movie that capture the feelings of a young girl from her teenage to her youth years, where she dabbles with so many things, dabbles with heartbreak and then work and things like that. So in a way, it's a beautifully made movie. It gives you the feeling of someone trying to figure out life, and then eventually finds that middle ground or that balance in life. So I think if you are someone who enjoys, like I said, the coming of age kind of movies, I think you will love this movie. And I think that's it for me for today, and we'll see each other next time.